Scott Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Okay, let me just get something frivolous off my chest, first of all. That's really pissed me off.
Uh-huh.
All right, may I just... Well, I guess so, because my name's on the wall.
Yeah, your name's on the wall right there.
Yeah, so I guess I can. I can't believe how badly BYU got jobbed over the weekend.
So bad.
Absolutely screwed.
Yeah, when I saw their opponent was UAB, my initial thought was, oh, wow, was UAB good this year? I totally missed that.
The answer to that is no. No, they were 8-4. So, okay, they were, I don't know why they keep doing this. They shouldn't do it. They lock themselves into a bowl game before this season, like 3, 5, 6 years ago. They did this. And they locked themselves into the Independence Bowl thinking, okay, we're independent. We don't know if we'll wind up anywhere. They've got a much better chance winding up in a decent bowl game if they're not locked into a crappy bowl like the Independence Bowl, whose opponent is a Conference USA team.
Or the Dragons, man.
Woo!
Or Blazers or something.
Blazers. Yeah, they're not even the Dragons. Dragons would be kind of cool.
So wait a minute. Hold on
But they're
a
not
second.
that.
So I've spent the last 24 hours upset for you because BYU is in an Independence Bowl.
Yes, but they're in the Independence Bowl
So it's
because
their
they
own
got
fault?
screwed by the playoff committee. They were number 12 last week. They didn't play this weekend.
Right.
They dropped to 13.
Okay, why?
Not only did they drop to 13, Utah jumped ahead of them.
Oh, that makes no sense. You guys beat
3-loss Utah, including being dominated by BYU.
Oh, no.
How do you put them ahead of BYU when they lost to BYU head-to-head?
How many losses
They've got
does
a worse
Utah have?
3.
Oh, dude.
They're 10-3. BYU's 10-2. BYU dominated Utah, and not just football, everything this year. I just have to make this point.
Did they factor that in?
We beat them in football. We beat them in men's basketball.
Yeah.
We beat them in women's basketball. We beat them in women's volleyball twice. Mm-hmm. And yet they jumped ahead of us in the football bowl.
Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever, but...
Absolutely asinine.
I don't follow what you said about they're locked into the Independence Bowl?
Yeah, they're contracted with the Independence Bowl. They make this deal with ESPN because ESPN owns every single bowl game.
So is this BYU's fault for doing that?
In part, yeah.
Oh, no.
In part it is.
Bad.
In part it is. Because they don't just take their chances. They don't... Okay,
Believe
count
in
on yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. Bet on yourself.
Right.
And bet that you're going to be 10-2 at the end of the season, and you're going to get a better game than the Independence Bowl.
Mormons don't gamble.
No, that's right.
Should know
That's
that.
true.
Come on now.
That's exactly right.
No, but I felt your pain, man. Because like I said, I saw the opponent before I saw the Independence.
Outrageous. And not only is it UAB, the University of Alabama, Birmingham, we didn't even get the conference champion, UTSA, because they ducked us to go play in some other bowl. They get to choose. And rather than choose BYU, the 13th ranked team, 12 in the AP poll, you're going to go to the Frisco Bowl and play San Diego State, who's unranked?
Wow. You know what, though?
What a chicken crap thing to do that is.
UTSA couldn't handle North Texas. So
they got
obviously
destroyed
so they
by
know
North
they
Texas.
couldn't handle BYU.
Yes, that's exactly right. And it's agonizing because as I look over some of the bowl games, you got Utah in the Rose Bowl. We beat them. They're going to play Ohio State. Washington State, whom we beat, gets to play Miami of Florida, the Miami. Arizona State, whom we beat, gets to play Wisconsin. Oregon is playing Oklahoma in the Alamo Bowl, a team that was beaten by a team we dominated. Virginia's in a bowl game. We beat them. Of course, they're only playing SMU. SMU's not bad, though, lately. Florida State plays, or Florida plays UCF. UCF gets a bowl game against Florida, and they're 8-4 in the season. We beat them by 25 points in the bowl game last year.
Is there a specific bowl game that you thought BYU should be in? Or you just wanted a January?
Yeah, I just wanted a New Year's Six bowl game.
Okay.
And then, barring that, there was some kind of other tie-in with, I can't remember, but it was a team that was contracted with the Big Ten and the SEC, I think it was, or Big Ten and Big 12. So we would have played at least a Power 5 team, which would have been nice. But I've probably spent more time whining about this than with the world on fire, that's not the biggest issue. It's kind of a first world problem.
Yeah, well, $2.2 million payout for the Independence Bowl. But,
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not bad.
It just would have been nice
What's
if you
the payout? Does it say what the payout is for the Frisco Bowl? Because if it's less than that, it's clearly that UTSA was afraid.
We're almost at $4 million payout for the Peach Bowl, which is one of the bowls I thought you guys might play.
Yeah.
I think Michigan State's in it, and I thought that would have been a good spot for BYU.
Be a really good spot.
But anyhow, Frisco Bowl payout. Let's see here, $650,000. So in other words, UTSA
unranked team.
Yeah.
For about
a third
of the money, less than a third of the money. Okay. That's a pretty clear dodge right there.
On your little bowl game list there, where are my Huskers playing on their bowl game?
What's
that?
I'm still scrolling.
Yeah, find it, because I know it's in there somewhere. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. They had a heck of a 3-9 season.
They actually did.
I know, man.
Weird. That's a weird statement to make, but they actually did.
Hurts.
I saw that Missouri got a bowl game against, I can't remember who, and I think I deleted it all now. So.
Let's see here. Missouri's bowl game is going to be against. It's going to be the Armed Forces Bowl. That's in Fort Worth,
against
I
Army,
believe.
right? Yeah. Oh, so Jeffy could go if he wanted to. In theory, he could go if they had fat guy seating, but I don't know if they do.
It's a big stadium.
Yeah. Just not big seating.
Right.
All right. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Are there other things going on in the world other than, football teams being wronged? Yes. Yes, there are. Rashida Tlaib.
She's good.
She's awesome.
Right.
She wants students to be forgiven their debt. And she kind of outlined that whole thing.
I worked full time Monday through Friday and took weekend classes to get my law degree, and still close to $200,000 in debt. And I still owe about $70,000.
And who forced you to take out that student loan? Who forced you to go to law school and spend $200,000 when you're not even really using your law degree?
Yeah, well, she does not know the law. That's for sure.
She doesn't.
And as you're watching her whine out there, just keep in mind the person speaking makes a salary that you pay for of $174,000 a year. Okay.
All right. Let's see the rest of this.
And most of it was interest.
Oh, no.
Most of it was our own government making money and profit off of me.
That's you. You're the government.
And guess what? I didn't go to the for-profit entities. I went to legal aid. I worked at the nonprofit organization fighting for, the right to breathe clean air, to fight for the worker that was getting their wage, taken and stolen
so I
from
should
their
pay for
employer.
your
She made
student
that
loan
I
debt.
went and worked on immigrant rights and so much
I
more.
don't care what you did.
And all of that
Who
to
cares?
say, we have to stop treating as if folks that are paying for education as if they bought some bougie car or some big,
Pause it for a second.
No.
It doesn't matter what they got, what they incurred the debt for. If they did so willingly of their own free will, it's their responsibility now, not ours as taxpayers.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. I mean, I couldn't care less what they're doing with their degree.
I would like to point out we've avoided this until now. We've allowed Jeffy to change the definition of the word bougie. Rashida Tlaib is actually using it properly. It's high class, but we've let Jeffy manipulate our language, and we just went along with it, and now we're having to pay for it. We had to pay for it today.
We should not have done it. Let's see the rest of this if we
Folks
can
that
handle
are
it.
paying for education as if they bought some bougie car or some big, something beyond that. No, they were seeking an education.
Oh, wow. Wow. Huh. So that's our fault then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our fault, and we should have to pay for it. $1.73 trillion. $1.73 trillion. And we're supposed to just pick up the tab because it's a lot. And they made a choice to go into debt to go to school. They could have avoided that choice. I did. Did you have student debt, Keith? How did you pay for Nebraska?
My parents were so kind to fund that, and they got a Pell Grant for me.
Okay.
And
what is the Pell? You don't have to pay the Pell Grant back because it's a grant, right?
Yeah.
So
correct.
Yeah.
And like for example, my kids. I was about to say my kids are going to college. One of them is going to college right now, and we have an option to take on student debt. and we're not going to. We've made that decision
Smart.
that we're going to scrimp and save and figure it out, and we're not going to go into debt.
But that's only because you're bougie white people,
'Cause we're
right? And other people don't have that same opportunity.
That's right. And I would also like to point out to the lovely representative of the state of Michigan that it's the federal government that's actually caused the cost of school to go up with their involvement with the financial aspect of it. And so if you really want to get to the heart of the matter, now I've got Don Henley in my head, then you need to address that as opposed to the people that are going out and running up individual debt.
Yeah. All this whining about, and now I have all this debt. God, you went into that with your eyes wide open, right? You were an adult human being when you took out the loan. Otherwise, you wouldn't be going to college. Unless you're, some 12-year-old genius who somehow advanced to college way ahead of time. But you're an adult human being, and you know that you're going to have to pay that back. And so now you're going to whine about it because you made those choices. You want somebody else to pick up the tab for you. No! How about no? We're not going to do it. It's pathetic. And these communists... And she is as close to a communist as this country offers in a politician. She and the whole squad are all a bunch of little socialist communists, a bunch of Marxists. And just typical of Marxists, they're the elite. They shouldn't have to pay anything. And so they're going to put that burden on us.
Collapse the system.
Yeah, absolutely not. No. I'm so tired of it. So tired of the whining. And it's also, the tax cuts that benefited only the wealthiest Americans. Do you know they just did a survey on this, a study of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 that we heard over and over and over again from Democrats. Well, it only helped the richest Americans. Tax cut for the wealthy. Every single person in America got a tax cut. And who benefited the most? The middle class. The middle class, working class in this country benefited the most from these tax cuts. Even as Democrats railed against them, Elizabeth Warren said, this corruption is hollowing out America's middle class and tearing down our democracy, which, of course, we don't have. Mazie Hirono claimed that the richest 1% of Americans were dancing in the streets after the Senate passed the tax cuts. Then Senator Kamala Harris, the tax plan approved tonight by my Republican colleagues, is shameful. Mm-hmm. This is a victory for corporations and the top 1% of Americans, not teachers, not seniors, and certainly not the middle class. No, exactly the opposite. You're just 180 degrees wrong, as always. So this was from the Heartland Institute. After accounting for all tax deductions and credits, filers with an adjusted gross income of $40,000 to $50,000 received an average tax cut of 18.2%.
Oh, wow.
That's not bad at all.
It doesn't fit the narrative that we were fed either.
No, it kind of doesn't. Higher income earners paid an even larger share of the total tax burden in 2018 than they did in 2017. Oh, And again, one day we're going to have to decide what the fair share is for the wealthiest Americans. The analysis said that tax filers earning $500,000 or more paid 39% of all income tax. 39%. Mm-hmm. The top 1% paid 39% of all taxes. But after the tax reform went into effect in 2018, the same income bracket paid 41.5%.
Wait a minute.
Of total income tax revenues.
Trump's tax cuts for the rich were actually increasing the burden for the rich.
Yes. That's exactly what happened.
Okay.
All right? Mm-hmm. So, again, let's figure out exactly what is their fair share. Is it 100%? Mm-hmm. Should they pay the entire tax burden? There's probably Democrats who would say, oh, yeah, that'd be good.
At the same brainstorming session where we figure out what the fair share for taxes is, can we also figure out what the fair minimum wage price is as well? Yeah,
that'd be a good meeting.
Just have a good...
And maybe, just for fun, let's throw in when does life begin? Let's throw that one in, too. Let's finally get an answer to that.
Yeah.
When does life begin? What, 2 years into your human existence?
Yeah, wait, can we also price gouging? Can we figure out where that line is as well?
Right.
We're going to need a whole
What's
weekend.
just a really high price and what is gouging?
Yeah, we're going to need 2 morning sessions and 2 afternoon sessions at this conference.
But that should do it, right?
We should answer all of the mysteries of life in
Clear
this
that
one
right
weekend
up.
here over at the Irving Convention Center.
We're going to have to dig up the founders and put them in charge of this because that's the only way that would get done. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
Oh, whoops.
Whoops. Somebody forgot something.
Well,
No, that's all right.
keep
We'll make
moving.
it up. We'll pretend.
Plow ahead.
Bette Midler says Donald Trump should be arrested for attempted murder of Joe Biden. No, wow. Okay. Former staffer is claiming that President Trump went to a debate with Joe Biden knowing that he tested positive for coronavirus. Wow. So Bette Midler equates that with attempted murder.
Of course. What else are you going to equate it with?
The actress was reacting to a report that he had tested positive. The claim was made in a memoir by Mark Meadows. Midler took to Twitter to excoriate the former president. Wow. That rat bastard knew he had COVID-19 on September 26th, but went on with his schedule anyway. Unmasked. Spewing his saliva all over Biden during the debate.
Wait.
What a pig.
They weren't.
He'd sell smallpox infected blankets to soldiers. He's that guy.
He's that guy.
Yeah, he is. Of
Okay.
course. I think there's no question of that, right? Hashtag Donald Trump should be arrested for attempted murder. He tried to infect and kill Joe Biden.
Wait, that's the hashtag? That's
Yeah.
a little wordy for a
Does say hashtag, right? Hashtag Joe Biden.
Okay.
Oh, hashtag Donald Trump, hashtag Joe Biden at the debate by turning up too late to be tested, knowing full well he was positive, then screeched, sputtered, spit, and foamed at the mouth, hoping to infect Joe.
Wait.
She's got quite an
So now
imagination.
she's got him actually attempting to infect Joe Biden.
Yeah, he tried to on purpose.
Okay.
Because, as she says, and I'm quoting, he is the devil, unquote.
Well, can we hear real quick? Can we hear Joe Biden's voice on Friday because he's sick?
Oh, wow.
He sure is sick. Listen to this.
This worldwide effort we're leading won't solve the problem of high gas prices overnight. But over the last month, likely due in part to the anticipation of this action, we've seen oil and gas prices out of the wells. Oil and gas prices on the wholesale market come down significantly.
Wow. So,
Okay.
reporters, at least one reporter,
Yeah,
and
what?
I know you know who the reporter is, recognized that he sounded just a bit off, maybe a little sick,
Okay.
and actually had the nerve to ask him.
No.
Mr. President, first of all, Mr. President, your voice sounds a little different. Are you okay?
I'm okay. I have a test every day to see a COVID test.
Pause for a second.
Checking for all the strands.
Yet another lie. He doesn't have a COVID test every day. And he lied about that. Now, he has them frequently, I think like 3 times a week, but that's not every day. So the guy has to lie about everything. All right, let's hear the rest.
They're checking for all the strands. What I have is a 1.5-year-old grandson who had a cold who likes to kiss his pop. And he's been kissing in my... Anyway,
Wait, back that up in the last 10 seconds. What?
Wait,
Excuse me,
I
wait,
think we were
what?
getting some more information, and you realize what road he was going down.
Kiss his pop. And he'd been kissing in my... Anyway, so...
On your what? He was kissing on your...
Hey, he's kissing on my...
anyway. Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh,
Guy
wow.
is
He sucks.
diabolically stupid.
Yeah.
And dementia-ridden and awful. Just plain
I
awful.
think you summed it up nicely there.
Yeah.
So, obviously, as we've seen,
Gosh.
quite inconsistent on his mask wearing.
Yeah.
Right.
There's another photo of him out and about,
Oh,
right?
really? Because we know he has a cold.
Yeah.
And
So he's sick. There he is.
Just hanging out.
Is that attempted murder, Bette Midler?
Right. Who are you trying to kill, bro?
Ah, jeez. It's hard to believe. The hypocrisy they get away with. Really amazing. All right, let me tell you about Keeps. How will you know you're ready to do something about your receding hairline and bald spot? Probably when they're about the first things you notice every morning in the mirror, right? So it's time to do something. What do you do? And that part is really easy. Do what Keith does. Go to Keeps. Keeps has more 5-star reviews than any of their competitors. Hundreds of thousands of guys trust Keeps for their hair loss prevention. Not only does it prevent hair loss in 90% of the cases, but as with Keith, it promoted hair regrowth, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I think that happens about 2/3 of the time.
Then you have a new problem. Then you've got hair sticking up all over the place. And you're like, I got to comb it now. Oh, my gosh, what a burden.
There is that problem. Little maintenance there.
Yeah.
Maybe some, I don't know, shampoo from time to time.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you got all that.
from time to time.
But Keeps is really easy, too. You just go online and answer a few questions, take some pictures of your hair and post them. Then a licensed doctor reviews all that and will recommend the right hair loss treatment for you. Then they'll work with you along the way. You can message your Keeps doctor 24/7 and track your progress with their progress tracking tool. Go to keeps.com/Pat. Get 50% off your first order of hair loss treatment. Keeps.com/Pat.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, George! Merry Christmas, George! Merry Christmas, movie house! Merry Christmas, Emporium! Merry Christmas, you wonderful old building and loan!
Pat Gray Unleashed.
You wonderful old building alone! My wife won't watch that movie for that reason. There's too much screaming.
Wait,
So loud.
Hold on.
It's too loud.
it's not you that is just sitting next to her screaming the lines
Well, half the time it is.
every scene?
Yeah,
Maybe
half
that's
the
what it
time
is.
probably is.
So she's making you think that it's the movie, honey, that it's too loud.
Right.
Okay. Well, it's too bad she's missing out.
It is. It's a great movie.
Have you watched it yet this year?
Not yet, no.
When are you going to watch it, dude?
I don't know. When it gets a little closer, because that's the hardcore Christmas stuff for me. You start out kind of relaxed when it's this early in the season.
It's like, this is the Hallmark.
Yes. Yes. The Hallmark Christmas movies, which are all exactly the same plot. Exactly the same. And Hallmark must sit around their little Christmas movie meetings and somebody inevitably suggests, hey, what if we were to use Candace Cameron Bure in one of these?
Huh.
Hey, yeah, that worked last time, and the time before, and the time before, and the time before, and the time before that. And what about the time before that? That was really big. And the time before that.
Ooh, I've got an idea.
People will love it.
I've got an idea. How about we make like a boyfriend who's like a bad guy?
Right.
You want to do
Right.
that?
And the woman works in New York City, but she's from a small town, maybe even in the Midwest.
Well, okay, all right.
And she goes back
home,
and-
like for the holidays or something.
Yeah, and she runs into her mean boyfriend after she has met somebody really nice
Wait a minute.
and special that she likes.
Hold on.
Then,
No, I-
toward the end of the movie, the bad guy comes back into the picture, claiming that he's missed her and loved her forever, and regrets the fact that he ever let her go. So now she's got that. She's got that dilemma.
never
Do I
work.
go with the new, handsome, wonderful man, or the guy I've been obsessed with since high school?
I'm so confused right now.
So confused.
I think when she goes to the Midwest, she runs into her old high school, like nerdy friend who's now hot.
That could happen
They
too.
could do that, and
yeah,
then- and
there's
then-
like two different things that could happen.
But she's
so
engaged
they
to the
always
jerk
keep you guessing.
back in the city. How do I tell this guy? And then
And then he shows up though.
yeah, and then you back him into a
Yeah.
corner, and he has no choice but to be a jerk in front of everyone. And now everyone can see. Oh,
Yep.
it'll never work. It'll never
Nah,
work.
nah.
Don't even write it down, dude.
No. Now we could do 39 or 40 of those every year. Just keep pumping them out. But
I would love to know what are the
that
ratings.
wouldn't
Pretty
be-
good, huh?
the what?
The ratings must be really great on those.
Well, they have to be.
right?
Because, they just keep doing it over and over and over. And the season stretches out longer and longer. And pretty soon they'll be doing these in, I don't know, May.
It's a Memorial Day Christmas weekend here on Hallmark.
All right. The other thing that's fairly interesting right now is that Biden is employing the same policy that Trump did at the start of the pandemic. And now, of course, we've got the Omicron variant, which they've admitted now. They finally admitted it's mild. It's more contagious, but less dangerous than some of the other variants. Well, why didn't you say that in the first place? Because the doctors were telling you that the whole time from South Africa.
Because nobody wants to sleep.
Yeah, and they wanted to scare the crap out of us. They're fear mongers, and they want to keep control of us. Anyway, what's the difference between Joe Biden's travel ban on Africa and Donald Trump's?
How long will the travel restrictions on countries in southern Africa be in place?
Well, it kind of depends. It's going week to week here to determine what we need and what the state of affairs. We're going to learn a lot more in the next couple weeks about the lethality of this virus, about how much it spreads, about whether what we have can control it, etc. So it'll depend on those issues.
Mr. President, when President Trump instituted the travel restrictions, it was a real shock to European allies. Are you committed to?
Unlike Trump, I don't shock our allies.
Mr. President, are you happy?
Wow, that's a good.
That was powerful.
Yeah.
What a comeback.
Unlike Trump,
I don't shock our allies. What? What are you talking about? Oh, the worst.
I can't wait to see what his
He's
voice
the worst.
sounds like today. I just checked out his public schedule, and 2 o'clock Eastern, he's supposed to deliver remarks on how his Build Back Better plan will lower the cost of prescription drugs for millions of Americans.
Sure will. Bring millions of jobs to Americans, too, I'm sure. And rebuild our infrastructure. All of those things are going to happen.
I can't wait to hear that voice.
Oh, man.
It's going to be fun.
Isn't it? It's going to be great. All right, 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. These wonderful Democrats, always with their wonderful claims and their wonderful agenda. AOC just really made people happy in San Francisco by saying that these smash and grab lootings in these stores all over San Francisco and the Bay Area.
Say what?
Yeah, they're not happening much. That's kind of it's really not a thing. She said a lot of these allegations of organized retail theft are actually not panning out. What? We've seen the videos. What are you talking about? We've seen the stores after the smash and grab. We've seen the people running from the buildings. We've seen them smashing the display cases.
Yeah, tell the store owners it's not happening.
Yeah.
I mean, the Democratic Party, her party finds the one example of the kid without eyelids, right? And puts him up in the balcony there at the State of the Union. You're telling me that this guy who just lost everything in his shop doesn't matter?
You're going to piss them off, which is, probably good. She said, I believe it's a Walgreens in California cited it, but the data didn't back it up.
What is she talking about?
I don't know. Wow. Walgreens told the Washington Times organized retail crime is one of the top challenges facing the company. And Representative Rodney Davis said, I don't know what data she's talking about. But you don't really need much data from someplace in San Francisco or California. All you need to do is walk down the street to the CVS in Eastern Market, which is in Washington, D.C., near the Capitol. I've seen on multiple occasions when I've been in there buying things, someone will come in and raid a shelf and walk out. Yeah, how many of those videos have we seen?
Wait,
a lot.
Who said that? What's that quote?
That's from Rodney Davis.
Okay.
Representative from Illinois, trying to show AOC how stupid and ill-informed she is.
Which is easy to do.
It's not that tough. That's for sure.
Man.
But don't worry about it. Nordstrom in the Bay Area in San Francisco, it didn't really happen to you. 80 people didn't come into your store and steal stuff. Stop your whining, will you?
Pat Gray returns on the Blaze Radio Network.
Got some tweets here. Caroline Truth Snow tweets, hey, Pat, doesn't Rashida Tlaib sound like Kaepernick comparing the NFL to slavery? Yeah. She chose to enter a field that requires extended education but offers really good salary. Simply a business deal. Yep. Dirty White Boy tweets, how come it's never asked if universities forgive these debts? Exactly. We've mentioned this before. You know what, for instance, Harvard's endowment is? In other words, the gifts they've received that they just keep in the bank and get richer and richer from their alumni. $40 billion is what Harvard has in the bank. $40 billion. And they could pay off everybody's tuition from now until 25 years from now. Give them full tuition, room and board, everything for all 25,000 students that attend Harvard for 25 years. In fact, more than that now, because it's higher since we started citing that stat. And, you know, University of Texas isn't far behind. All of these universities have massive, massive endowment funds. And if they wanted to make school more affordable or completely free, they could do it. And why are they never called on the carpet? Why? Why are they completely exempt? It's their tuition they're asking you to pay, not the government's. Anyway, Dirty White Boy continues. I've said too much. They're overcharging for a degree that's become meaningless. Women's studies, art appreciation. No, those are critical, my friend. Those are critical. Rowdy Introvert tweets, the question of what is a fair share can never be answered because those screaming about it claim fair share only pertains to those making more than them. And from Joe Blob, my nephew went to college with help from parents. He opted to go to grad school and borrowed $120,000. Came out as a pharmacist, got a job, and made a plan to have his loans paid off in 10 years. What a concept. I believe he paid them off early. Huh. You mean it can be done? Where you pay off your student debt? Huh. That's fascinating.
Well, I mean, we sincerely appreciate your great public service, Rashida Tlaib, but
yeah, but no.
Maybe you should go out into the private sector where you can make more money and pay off your debt sooner, as opposed to being just a public servant who's, in the
$175,000 she's making in Congress. Okay, it's $174,000. But that's just a drop in the bucket compared to what these people actually make, because their speaking fees, in some cases, when you come from Congress like this and you're a high-profile person, they can earn up to $250,000 an hour for a speech. It's ridiculous. And they all do. They all do that circuit. She's making a fortune and still whining about it. Shut up.
Yeah.
Then we got this interesting story about an Italian man who is facing charges of fraud now because he went to get his COVID-19 vaccine, and he was wearing a fake arm.
Wait, what's this?
He had a silicone prosthetic for an arm. He was that determined to not get the vaccine, but still wanted the health pass that comes with being vaccinated. And so who knows how much he paid for this silicone arm? I guess he just put it over his actual arm.
We don't know.
It happened at a vaccine hub in Biella, a town close to Turin in the northern Piedmont region of Italy. Came a week after Italy announced measures barring unvaccinated people from a host of social, cultural, and sporting activities. That's really bad. So if you want to participate in society already in Italy, sorry, got to have the vaccine. After completing the bureaucratic formalities, including signing a consent form in front of a doctor, the man, 50 years old, sat down, lifted up the sleeve of his shirt as he prepared for a health worker to administer the shot. Initially, the health worker didn't notice anything weird, as the silicone looks similar to skin.
Okay.
But after taking a closer look and touching his arm, the medic asked the man to take off his shirt. His plan was foiled then.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she noticed. Darn it. And then he tried to persuade her to turn a blind eye and just give him the shot in the silicone.
It's a shame that you have to even think along these lines to exist in society.
It really is. Now, the nurse, though, said, I felt offended as a professional.
Oh, shut up.
The color of the arm made me suspicious, and so I asked the man to uncover the rest of his left arm. Whoa, yeah, that's sexual harassment.
Back off, you.
That is sexual harassment. Why are you harassing me? Yeah, you want me to take my shirt off, huh? All right, baby.
Turn the tables.
That's right. I'm not going to do it, though.
Hold on. So she's offended as a medical professional.
She is.
I'm offended as a human being with natural rights. I even have to submit to this in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. I'm offended as a professional.
And she said, it was well made, but it wasn't the same color. So close. So close.
You would have gotten away with it, too, if it weren't for those meddling kids.
Wow.
So, yeah, she said, there's no veins. She noticed there was no veins in the arm and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, society is gone. Western society is completely bye-bye.
I wonder what that cost the guy, too. Yeah. And then to have it just be foiled like that.
Do you go to ebay.com and type in
silicone arm? Where can I get a silicone arm? I'm guessing at some of these places, like you go to you go to Sam's Club and get a shot. Are they going to notice you've got a prosthetic arm?
I mean, the dude arms, you could buy it now, $278.
Oh, that's not bad. If you're really committed and you really want that passport, be worth it if you don't get caught. Now they got pissed after he left. Because he left peacefully and he was polite, they said, and all that.
Okay.
But then they started thinking, wait, this guy tried to trick us. I'm really mad. And they called the police.
Y'all got to see this. This is what is happening to our society. $350 could get you the whole suit with the six-pack abs. And look at look at that. And it goes over you. See this? This guy's peeling it up.
No way. Wow.
Look at that. $350.
Okay, but when your fat gut is pushing your abs out,
that's
awesome. Going to be a little bizarre.
That is hysterical. Like, where do you... this is... Help us.
What a world.
Aliens, send help.
So how much for the whole thing? $350?
$350.
Oh, it's definitely worth it.
Buy it now.
For the abs? It'd be absolutely worth it. That's great.
That is... Where do you... I'm trying to think of where you wear this. Where you're wearing that so you can say, look at me, I'm buff.
Mm-hmm.
But can it get wet? Can it...
Business.
I just don't... I'm trying to find out. No, because then...
I don't know.
No, because then it gets... See, product's very thin at the edge. Please wear talcum powder all over your body before you wear it. Then roll the product up slowly and slowly wear it. And slowly wear it. I love it when they type up these descriptions for an English-speaking audience. Good products require good maintenance. Clean them in lukewarm water with mild soap. Air dry with a towel gently. Keep away from hot temperature. I don't like body heat.
Oh, wow.
Gosh. This is technical term. Keep away from hot temperature, sunshine, sharp, pointy things, washing machine, chemical material. Oh, this has got to be in some movie scene with like Ben Stiller or something. This is... there's
probably get more use from those fake joke arms you got. Fake arms. Niall, honestly, what kind of a situation could possibly require either a radio-controlled wheelchair or a pair of joke arms? Only, I would imagine, a completely ludicrous one.
That's really good. What's that from?
Yeah, I don't know. He just says from some... What was the show called? Father Ted? I'm not familiar with the show.
Me neither. Must be some British BBC thing.
It's a British comedy.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Huh. I'm not familiar with that at all.
By the way, unvaccinated Canadians can be banned from grocery stores in New Brunswick now. If you don't show proof of full vaccination, you can be barred from entering grocery stores to buy food. The measure was announced as part of the province's Winter Action Plan, which allows any business, including grocery stores, the option of barring unvaccinated individuals. According to Health Minister Dorothy Shepherd, it comes as the province sees a very concerning rise in COVID infections over the last 2 weeks, especially among unvaccinated Canadians. The province reported 97 cases and 2 deaths since Thursday.
How many was that? 2?
2.
2.
Yeah, 2.
So we're segregating.
Time to panic.
Yeah.
2.
So segregation making a comeback in Canada over 2 deaths.
Right. That's exactly right.
All right.
Wow. The new restriction belongs to the first level of a 3-level escalating alert system. The measures are not difficult, Shepard said, adding the power to keep us in level 1 is in our hands. I wonder what levels 2 and 3 are.
That's what I'm looking up right now.
Can't even go to the grocery store in level 1?
Right. So what are 2 and 3? I'm going to look those up while you do this.
While you do that, I will do this.
Okay.
There's a new way to make money in America. It's in a booming market that's seen 2,700% growth. 2,700% growth. And it has handed investors more money than the S&P 500 between 1995 and 2020. And it outperformed other assets, even during the worst economic downturns. Would you believe me if I told you it's actually contemporary art? And while investing in this lucrative alternative asset was previously only accessible to the very elite, wealthy corporations like Microsoft and JP Morgan, that's actually changed now because there's a new way to invest in blue chip paintings at a fraction of the cost. In fact, over 280,000 everyday Americans have already done it at a fraction of the cost. To discover how to invest in million-dollar artwork from artists like Picasso and Monet and Banksy, go to masterworks.io/unleashed. Keep in mind, this is a limited asset, so offerings have previously sold out in just hours. Once again, it's masterworks.io/unleashed. See the important disclaimers at masterworks.io/disclaimer.
Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right,
so we know what level 1 is in New Brunswick. What are level 2 and 3?
Yeah, basically, you just start closing businesses down. So like level 2 is just 50% capacity. Level 3 is just everything's closed. And it's broken down into how many people you can gather with, how stuff applies to restaurants, businesses, and gyms. But it sounds like if this is a business here, it sounds like this is the business deciding that they can require this proof as opposed to the government. But my goodness, we are at a crossroads right now.
They just keep tightening the vice. They just keep squeezing harder and harder and harder.
And there are massive protests around the world. Massive. Getting next to no coverage whatsoever.
Yeah,
People are pushing back.
If this was a racial issue, CNN would be covering it nonstop. It'd be the lead story on every broadcast. Instead, you see nothing about it.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. So
yeah, and it, like I said, we're right on the cusp here. It has the potential of getting really past the point of no return. Did you see the president of the EU talking about? She's floating the possibility of maybe making vaccines mandatory for everybody, just to exist. Watch this, lady.
So first of all, this is pure member state competence. Therefore, in respect to that, it's not me to give any kind of recommendation. If you're asking me what my personal position is, 2 or 3 years ago, I would never have thought to witness what we see right now, that we have this horrible pandemic, we have the vaccines, the life-saving vaccines, but they are not used adequately everywhere, and thus this costs, of course, an enormous health cost coming along. If you look at the numbers, we have now 77% of the adults in the European Union vaccinated, or if you take the whole population, it's 66%.
Sell it, Ursula, sell it.
And this means 1/3 of the European population is not vaccinated. These are 150 million people.
Unacceptable.
This is a lot.
They have a way of
not
finding
each and
cure.
everyone can be vaccinated, so there are very small children, for example, or people with special medical conditions, but the vast majority could. And therefore, I think it is understandable and appropriate to lead this discussion now. how we can encourage and potentially think about mandatory vaccination within the European Union. This needs discussion.
Good.
This needs a common approach, but it is a discussion that I think has to be led.
Thank you, Ursula von der Leyen. Yeah. Yeah, we have ways of making you get vaccinated. Wow. So everybody, no matter what, everybody
we just
could be mandated to get a vaccination shot.
You just need to discuss it, Pat.
Yeah, we
just
of
need
course.
to discuss it.
Sure.
We're going to have a conversation.
Sure. Yeah, no, don't panic about it. Yeah, we're just talking about it right now. That could never happen in Europe. Something super scary and egregious. Yeah, you never worry about that in Europe.
And just pick some rando accent to deliver that message.
Somebody who sounds like they're from Germany or Austria. You want, that's what you want in a leader, right? That's what you want.
It's not spooky at all.
Not at all. Oh, man. Well, and everybody's falling in line. Not everybody, but many, many, many people are just falling in line and lapping it up.
Such a fun time, right?
That's a good time. Although, as we mentioned, there are pockets of real resistance where people are just saying, no, we've had enough. Stop it. Stop it. You're not going to tell us that we have to have this put into our bodies in order to just be in our lives every day. Just go to the grocery store, go to the bank, go to a restaurant, a sporting event, whatever. You can't take that right away from everybody because they haven't. Well, I guess you can because they're doing it. We'll see if it happens Europe-wide shortly. Really good thing that there is a European Union, isn't it? It's great. That's worked out really well for them, for us, for the world. No problems. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. In my rant about how ridiculous the college football playoff committee is, we didn't even mention who the 4 playoff teams are.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess of interest to some. Alabama back to number 1 again.
Beat Georgia handily.
Because, they kind of destroyed.
That really shocked me.
Georgia. Me too. I was surprised. But it's Alabama. You just, what else is there to say? So number 2 is it Michigan?
Michigan.
Alabama, Michigan.
Georgia's 3.
Oh, Georgia and Cincinnati made it.
So Alabama, Cincinnati in round 1, as well as Michigan versus Georgia, and the 2 winners will play for the national title.
What a surprise it would be if Alabama beat Cincinnati and Georgia beat Michigan. Then you'd have an all-SEC final. Who could see that coming? I'm getting so sick and tired of the SEC. I can't take it anymore.
Oklahoma, Texas.
Jeez.
Joining the party. A few years.
Yep. All right. Got some tweets here. Joe McCullough tweets, Harvard has $40 billion in the bank, but you still have to supply your own number 2 pencil.
Right.
Jimmy Dimples dodging draconian regulations, like with the fake arm trick. This is how the mafia was born. You'd think Italy would remember that.
Wow, good point.
Omnicron, Lord of the Dementiacons.
Wow.
I bet Jeffy has just added the fake abs to his Christmas wish list. Probably.
Haven't grown a third tail.
Then from Pete Donovan, Pat, she's only saying, let's have that conversation. Oh, yeah, we're talking about the president of the EU. The opposite of Ursula's position in the EU, there's an EU member, Christine, is it Anderson? Christine Anderson, had this to say about the mandates.
But it is not the goal that renders a system oppressive. It is always the methods by which the goal is pursued. Whenever a government claims to have the people's interest at heart, you need to think again. In the entire history of mankind, there has never been a political elite sincerely concerned about the well-being of regular people. What makes any of us think that it is different now.
Right.
If the age of enlightenment has brought forth anything, then certainly this. Never take anything any government tells you at face value. Always question everything any government does or does not do. Always look for ulterior motives and always ask, cui bono, who benefits? Whenever a political elite pushes an agenda this hard and resort to extortion and manipulation to get their way, you can almost always be sure your benefit is definitely not what they had at heart. As far as I'm concerned, I will not be vaccinated with anything that has not been properly vetted and tested and has shown no sound scientific evidence that the benefits outweigh the disease itself and possible long-term side effects, which, to this day, we don't know anything about.
Thank you.
What?
I will not be reduced to a mere guinea pig by getting vaccinated with an experimental drug. And I will most assuredly not get vaccinated because my government tells me to and promises in return I will be granted freedom. Let's be clear about one thing. No one grants me freedom, for I am a free person. So I dare the European Commission and the German government. Throw me in jail, lock me up and throw away the key for all I care. But you will never be able to coerce me into being vaccinated if I, the free citizen that I am, choose not to be vaccinated.
Good for her.
She speaks for me.
Nicely put.
And that is pinned to the top of my Twitter page at Keith Mahalanak. That is perfect from start to finish as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, really good. Really good.
So there's hope. There's hope. There's a resistance, Pat.
I guess so. And we'll see if that resistance gets squashed or whether it blooms into a whole freedom movement planet-wide. Wouldn't that be nice? We're going to get to somebody who had a just chilling experience in Australia. We'll tell you about that coming up here in a minute. But first, let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. If you find yourself turning on the news and feeling hopeless, with the open border situation, with the mandates, the prospect of more of them, lockdowns, inflation, the list goes on, there is something you can do. You can buy from a company that believes what you and I believe. This will help us all stick together and be united. Join Patriot Mobile. They've been doing this since 2012. They're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. So they offer the same exact nationwide coverage as everybody else because they use the same towers. They just do it for less. And they have a 100% U.S.-based customer service support team that offers you great customer service support. And they share your values, support organizations fighting for religious freedom and constitutional rights, the sanctity of life, and veterans and first responders. So please, go to patriotmobile.com/Pat. What are you waiting for? Or call 972-PATRIOT. Get free activation when you use the offer code, Pat. They always have special discounts for veterans and first responders. They share your values. I mean, it's just a great company. patriotmobile.com/Pat. patriotmobile.com/Pat or 972-PATRIOT.
Mr. Cratchit.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
So, an Australian woman explaining to the world how authorities approached her about a COVID quarantine. This is kind of chilling. She walks us through the whole progression of what happened to her.
I just waited for someone to come and test me. No one came to test me. The next people who rocked up at my house were two other police officers. They blocked my driveway.
These are actually uniformed police officers, normal police officers.
Yeah. So then the police officers blocked my driveway. I walked out and I said, "What's going on? Are you guys testing me for COVID? What's happening?" They said, "No, you're getting taken away and you have no choice. You're going to Howard Springs. You either come with us now and we'll put you in the back of the divvy van, or you can have a choice to get a COVID cab." So, of course, I chose the COVID
Pause
cab
it for a
because
sec.
I said, well, if
I can either get in the divvy van or the COVID cab? I need more information on the divvy van.
Divvy van?
I think,
Let's see if there's like a...
The hell is a divvy van?
Does it have like snacks or treats waiting for you? It's just a police van. So probably like a paddy wagon.
Okay.
The divvy van.
The divvy van. Now, do we know why they were showing this interest in her to begin with? How do they know to even show up at her house? How do they know she's not vaccinated?
I don't know if she just flew in from overseas because, that's part of the deal. You get tested and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, I don't know.
Let's see the rest of this.
So, of course, I chose the COVID cab because they said, well, if we're to take you, we're going to hand you a $5,000 fine. So, of course, I didn't want that to happen. So I just said, look, I don't consent to this. I don't understand why I can't just self-isolate at home like a lot of other people are doing. And they just said, we've just been told from higher up where to take you, and that's all that there is.
Wow. Jeez. Okay, so then here she is at the camp.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I guess she takes the COVID cab and she takes it to the quarantine camp. And here she is at the camp.
Give you a warning, yeah? It's an official warning.
Official warning. You have to stay on your balcony.
And we have to go the rules again. I don't care.
So am I allowed to go to the laundry?
You're allowed to go to the laundry, but you got to wear a mask, yeah?
Yeah, righto.
And you definitely can't go up the fence anywhere else, but you're allowed to go to the laundry.
Don't go to the fence.
Right, so if I was sitting just here, which is right near the fence, why are these guys in a cabin that's right near the fence?
This is unreal.
It makes no sense, does it?
But you can't leave your balcony to go to the fence to talk to somebody else.
So if I was at that balcony...
So we always say there has to be lines everywhere drawn, yeah?
Has to be lines drawn everywhere, yeah?
All the lines is you cannot leave your balcony and you cannot go to someone else.
Watch
When
this.
it makes no sense or it doesn't seem right to you, that is the line and that's what the law is.
That's the line, and that's what the law is.
The law. There's a law that says that.
Oh, it's from the show director. Pause it for a sec. Okay, there's not a law. What he's saying, that's from the, I don't know what CHO stands for, but it's from that director, this edict. So they haven't passed a law. It's like all the stuff going on here.
Yes.
They've passed no laws. These are just bureaucrat orders.
Yeah, from the chief health officer.
Chief health officer. Oh my gosh. So from the chief health officer, I'm sorry, you can't go past that line.
Yeah.
And if you do, then we're going to, I don't know, drag you outside and beat you with clubs.
Basically,
we're gonna fine you. We're going to put you in prison. Those kinds of things.
And her name is Haley Hodgson. Hodgson. I can't pronounce it. Anyway, it says strangely picked up because they thought she may have had contact with a COVID positive person.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is unreal.
So they did this through contact tracing
Yeah.
and showed up at her door.
Yep.
Yeah, they contact traced her back to her house and then put her in quarantine.
And remember, she said, why can't I just stay at my house like everybody else does? Oh, you're coming with us.
Nope, because that's the law. No, it's not a law. It's from the CHO guy.
You remember when you were in like kindergarten and stuff, you'd have a spot, you sit here on the floor, or you don't go past this line, or line up at the door, don't cross the threshold. Watch as this video plays out. I swear they treat the citizens there like little kids. Watch what one of these officers does regarding the line there on the balcony. Your behavior. Shut up.
Highly infectious when all of us people are negative.
So she's tested negative too.
The risk is very high.
Can we just do that? Otherwise, the next time it's a $5,000.
Next time it's a $5,000
It's
fine.
a $5,000 fine if what?
You leave the balcony.
If you breach again.
If I walk out onto that path.
Without your mask on, for no reason other than...
If I cross that yellow line...
Look at that. He's pointing at the line.
That I've broken the rule, I will be issued with a $5,000 fine.
That's correct. Yeah. So you pass that line to your right, or the line that's on the stairs. You can't go past the first stair, or you're going to get a $5,000 fine. My gosh,
I'm standing on that line.
Do we know how many? Do we know how long she had to stay at the quarantine facility? Is it 2 weeks?
2 weeks. I think once you end up at Howard
days.
Springs, you're there for 14 days.
Wow.
Howard Springs. That needs to be the name of a.
Holy.
I can't decide.
I mean, Australia's gone. We've made that point before, but it just keeps being reinforced.
Are we watching a twisted reality show or are we watching a horror flick? Howard Springs.
We're watching a horror flick. That is crazy. So contact tracing led them to her, and then she was just placed in a concentration camp. That's incredible.
They are taking 14 days of your life from you.
Absolutely incredible. And the minions who were there, I'm just following orders. So I don't care. It's just what the law is. No, it is not what the law says. It's what some bureaucrats said.
Yeah,
that's tyranny. When one guy starts throwing out these mandates like that haven't been voted on, that is tyranny.
Yeah, and his choice of phrase there, CHO guidelines, I think that is probably synonymous in this country with
Fauci.
Well, that Fauci, and just when you hear someone say, we're following CDC guidelines, that is such a fallback phrase that is used by wannabe dictators and sheep.
Yep.
It's people that are afraid to stand up and afraid to be leaders, or they want to be just the opposite end of the spectrum and be little mini dictators. Well, look, I'm just following what the orders say.
Don't go looking around, Benito.
And if this thing is that dangerous,
if
things are this dire, then by gosh, put it to a vote in Parliament.
Right, all around the world.
Put it to a vote in Congress.
Yeah. And one thing that you're missing there,
wow,
if you're listening to audio instead of going to blazetv.com and watching it there, is that these guys talking to her are, 15 feet away, full body suits.
Yeah.
It's like, think of the scene from E.T.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. This world is 2 years, in less than 2 years. We are so out of phase, man. I mean, you know how, like, Glenn used to talk about, the follow the North Star, and then we just slowly drift away.
2% off.
Right. When you're 2% off and you just end up adrift. I mean, we're so far gone now. It is just, how do you steer the ship back at this point?
It's crazy. There is something you can do for your dog, though, in these troubled times.
You need a dog during these troubled times, that's for sure.
You can feed your dog Rough Greens. Now, Rough Greens is not dog food. It's a dog food supplement. You just sprinkle it on top of whatever you feed your dog right now. But the chances are, if it's that dry kibble stuff, all of the good things that your dog needs, the probiotics and stuff, have been burned out of it in the sterilization process, so that food will last up to 3 years on the grocery store shelves. So this is a supplement you sprinkle on top of whatever your dog food is, full of the vitamins and minerals and probiotics and antioxidants, basically all the nutrients that are missing out of most dog food. Your dog will get all that now. And most dogs go crazy for it. Mine certainly does. And Jeffy doesn't have dogs, but I don't think any dog would stay with him.
He's the one person that dogs won't give the time of day to.
Dogs won't have a thing to do with him. Man's best friend, yes, but not Jeffy's. Stu's dog loves it. Glenn's dog loves it. Keith's dogs didn't quite take to it.
They fell on their head.
So you want to see which, if you have, dogs that need help like Keith's, or you have dogs like ours, like most dogs that love this stuff, just get a free bag of it from Rough Greens. They'll just send you a small bag. Try it out for a couple days, see if they love it. Then you can jump in with both feet. All you have to pay for initially is the shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com, roughgreens, R-U-F-F greens.com, or call 833-ROUGH-DOG.
Want a personal privilege?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Pat Gray is here, and he's unleashed.
Sure.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Got some tweets here. Pete Donovan tweets, you have to imagine the workers enforcing these edicts don't think any of this makes sense either.
Then stop.
Yeah, and they don't want to. They don't want to be police. The pandemic police. Who wants that? Hippie Patriot, that's my gang sign. We gasp at the state of Europe, but fellow Americans, it is here on our shores, too.
Yeah.
Stand strong.
It's true.
They're going to have to. The Steve 42, Australia makes Brave New World look like a Tea Party rally. And from Nita's cupboard, I'm a manager of a major clothing company. Vaccines are being mandated, or you have to be tested once a week. I'm one of 2 who are unvaxxed, but the 6 of the vaxxed have had COVID. And they don't have to be tested? It's agonizing. Yeah.
Wow.
None of it makes any sense. And we're facing these shortages everywhere. And here we are around Christmas time. And yet another industry is being impacted by these supply chain issues.
Oh, no. What
and
now?
This is hitting really close to home for New Yorkers especially. A fresh bagel with cream cheese is a New York staple, of course. Mm-hmm. But bagel shop patrons might run into some issues getting the cream cheese on their bagels.
Wait, there's a cream cheese shortage now in New York?
Shortage in New York City.
Oh, that's not good.
Outposts across the 5 boroughs report that they're having trouble restocking cream cheese.
What, is it coming from China? What's the problem here?
Well, let's see. Frank Matera, owner of Bagel Smiths in Williamsburg, said he first noticed the shortage 2 weeks ago. I went to North Jersey the other night to pick up some cream cheese, but no one has it in New York.
Uh-oh.
Picked up almost 1,000 pounds that night.
What? That's why there's a shortage, Frank. You're taking 1,000 off the shelf? 1,000 pounds?
You took it all. Shop in Greenpoint is also experiencing similar issues.
Yeah.
Operational manager Sam Kaplan
That's
said...
the one I go to.
Is it?
Yeah.
How often do you go there now? Because it's kind of a hike, but...
I get up early, man.
I guess
you
so.
know this.
Man.
You got to get up early.
Yeah, you do.
Get to Sam's Bagels.
The Greenpoint guy says operational manager Sam Kaplan said they have also had to travel outside the state to refill their supplies.
Wow.
What we have right now is probably going to last us for another week. And then just right now scrambling just to get some Philadelphia cream cheese.
Oh, I don't want that. That's store-bought.
Wow.
Come on, I want the...
Yeah, you
fresh
want the
Jersey can. Like, how are you coping with this?
with the cream cheese
shortage, Pat?
I bought a cow.
You bought a cow?
Yeah, I bought a cow. And it's just hanging out by the pool.
Wait, they just said it'd be done in a week. That's an extreme measure.
I can't wait that long. I need my cream cheese.
So what are you doing?
So a little extra work that goes into it.
Yeah.
Man, it's fresh. It's really fresh.
Yeah. Did you name your cow?
No, I just call it cow.
Call it cow.
Yeah, seems to like that.
So once the cream cheese...
When I say, hey, cow, there's not a lot of things out there that will respond to that. Just the one thing.
Okay, but when the cream cheese shortage passes, what's going to become of cow?
Well, then it'll be steak night after that.
That's why you don't want to get too attached to the cow that's hanging out by the pool.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't want to say we're eating Bessie tonight.
Right.
Because that's a little too personal then.
Yeah.
And you crossed a line.
But you actually, how do you make cream cheese? You have to, churn it or something?
Yeah, I'm not going to give you all my secrets. Okay? You're going to have to look some of that up on YouTube like I had to. All right, 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let me tell you about Tommy John. Man, this is a great time of year for Tommy John underwear because it's on sale and it's the best stuff you're ever going to wear, period.
So comfy.
If you are looking for something, really nice to give to your family members, your friends, your loved ones, try Tommy John, either the underwear, the loungewear, the pajamas. It's all super high quality stuff. The loungewear is so luxuriously soft. It's a tri-blend and micro-modal
I just know
fabrics.
It feels good.
Yeah.
And especially it's so windy out there today, man. You're just walking around there, your Tommy Johns. Feels
Four-way stretch, no lint balls or fuzz. It's really, they're quality. They're really quality. Over 17 million pairs sold. Giving the gift of Tommy John underwear and loungewear has become a holiday tradition for families all over the country. You should really do this, too.
See, there's no supply chain issue with Tommy John's right now. See?
Tommy John's doesn't have customers. They have fanatics.
That's true.
They really do. I love it. It's the first thing I want to put on when I get home every day. Get 20% off your first order right now at TommyJohn.com/unleashed. That's TommyJohn.com/unleashed. For 20% off. Order now so your gifts arrive before the holidays. TommyJohn.com/unleashed. See the site for details. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up in just a minute here.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Sad over the weekend, we lost Bob Dole.
Ah.
I mean, he was 98. So to be struck down in the prime of life like that, it is sad. He grew up apparently wanting to be a doctor, Bob Dole, but that changed after World War II, which almost killed him, left him permanently disabled. For a while, he was paralyzed from the neck down. And doctors said, we're not optimistic about his recovery. And he did. He beat all the odds. He won 2 Purple Hearts and 2 Bronze Stars for his service in World War II. This guy was amazing.
Hero.
I mean, not my favorite politician, but you can't take anything away from him as a human being. He registered for the Army in 1942, was a second lieutenant when he was sent to Italy in 1944. That following year, while attempting to rescue an Army radio man, Dole got caught in a German machine gun attack that lost him a kidney, shattered his right shoulder, and damaged his neck and spine, leaving him temporarily paralyzed from the neck down. Phew. Wow. So, yeah, the doctor wrote, at the present time, it would appear that his recovery is somewhat questionable. But he beat the odds. And after years of treatment, he regained a lot of his movement. But that's why he held a pencil all the time. People always wondered, why does he always have a pencil with him? Is because of the way his hand was. I guess he felt more comfortable with the pencil in it.
And then you didn't have to think, hey, let me shake your hand,
Right. Because it didn't fully recover. His left arm remained partially numb the rest of his life. And he never got back the whole use of his right arm. Jeez. In political and other public appearances, so they explain that's why he held the pencil or pen. The injuries had a lasting effect. He told the New York Times 5 decades after the attack that he allowed 50 extra minutes in the morning to get dressed. Yeah. You imagine that? And that he tried to avoid any clothing with buttons.
Wow, that
really something.
Tough.
Yeah.
First guy I voted for president, 1996.
Okay.
Bob Dole versus Bill Clinton.
Bob Dole. Bob Dole says Bob Dole. Don't say Bob Dole.
That's right. Norm McDowell. We lost Norm this year, too, the guy, who impersonated him.
Mm-hmm.
And, I remember when the two did a bit together after the 96 election. If these guys would do these bits, before the election, they'd probably
would have
win,
helped.
Yes,
it would have humanized him.
Self-deprecation goes a long way.
Sure does.
But, American hero, and they just don't make them like that anymore.
No, they don't. Did you see the volcanic eruption in Indonesia over the weekend? Jeez.
This was frightening video.
Really frightening.
Look at this. They are literally outrunning that dust cloud, ash cloud.
Look, how frightening would that be if that's headed toward you? Jeez. Oh, man. So,
yeah.
They got some issues there. There's another group of people that are going to need some serious help, in a relief effort.
And the death toll is now up to 22 from that 22 volcano.
Dang. 888-900-3393. Also last week, something we wanted to get to but didn't in time. I got to play this though because Whoopi Goldberg wants men to just shut up about abortion. Here's what she had to say on The View.
Do any of you men have any eggs or the possibility of carrying a fetus? How dare you talk about what a fetus wants?
Pause it for a second.
You have no idea.
First of all,
I hope you're addressing what I want to address.
First of all,
yes,
men can have eggs.
Wait, what?
Right?
Hold on.
Men can give birth. Right?
Okay.
Haven't we been told that 1,000,000 times by the left?
Yep.
Is that you can't just say willy-nilly that men can't be pregnant, that men can't have children.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you to say?
Right. It's a great point. Not the point I thought you were going to make. I thought you were going to make a more important point of how dare you, Whoopi, wear that Christmas sweater.
Yeah,
that is grotesque.
I mean, and especially this early in the season.
Right? It's not. It'll be funnier closer to Christmas.
Yeah,
Right now,
maybe
it's just
maybe Christmas Eve if you're on the air, you wear that thing.
bad.
What was the other thing I wanted? Play that part again
she's
because
hideous.
there's so much to unpack here.
Do any of you men have any eggs or the possibility of carrying a fetus? How dare you talk about what a fetus wants?
Pause
you
it.
have no.
How dare you talk about what a fetus wants? How dare I talk about what a... So, is it unreasonable to assume the fetus doesn't want to be murdered, sucked out of the womb, and broken into pieces? Is that a crazy concept? What do you mean? How dare I... How do you know what a fetus wants? Do women know any better than men what a fetus wants? I don't think so. I was once a fetus, and as a fetus, I did not want to be aborted. I guarantee it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you
I
can
guarantee
speak
it.
from experience then.
Yes, I can. You were a fetus as well.
Really?
Did you want to be aborted?
I don't recall wanting to be aborted.
See?
Wow. So
There
we
it
can
is.
speak from
We can
positions of
speak.
authority there.
Yeah, we
Whoopi.
can speak from authority. We were both fetuses, and neither one of us wanted to be aborted. So we can speak for fetuses.
And we may or may not have eggs right now as men.
Right. It's
I don't
possible. Who knows?
I've got to
There's
decide.
no way to tell.
Right. I'm going to decide later how I identify. And maybe
Excuse me, it's man.
Thank you.
It is man.
Right. Exactly.
Huh.
And I would think, when we've got ultrasounds of babies who are trying to avoid needles or an instrument that is about to abort them and they're moving away from it, I would say that's kind of an indication that maybe they don't want to be aborted.
It's a chilling video.
Maybe they don't want to be harmed. How dare we speak for a fetuses? What a stupid, just asinine. All right, let's see if we can get through the rest of this. I doubt it, but maybe.
You have no idea.
You have no idea.
Now,
You do.
I'm fine if you disagree with abortion. I have no problem
thank
with
you.
that.
Thank you.
My problem
Sure.
comes when you tell me what I need to do with my doctor and my family. How dare you? How dare you?
No, shut up. How dare you? All right. Here's how I dare.
Okay.
Because that's like saying, if you don't want to murder somebody, fine. But don't tell me I can't murder somebody.
Okay, when you say it like that.
Yeah. That's how I dare. Because it's murder. Do you not understand that by this point? It's murder to us. So, yeah, we do think we have the right to tell you not to kill an unborn baby.
And
Call us crazy.
Allow me to paint with a broad brush here, but those on that particular side of the aisle with Whoopi, while they're totally fine with, like you said, sucking that baby out and breaking it into parts and calling it a day, you try to allow your child to ride around the block without a helmet on its bike
gosh,
there,
yeah.
then oh my gosh, you're the Antichrist.
Yeah.
You don't put your kid in a safety seat, in a child seat, a booster, or make sure that if you don't bubble wrap your kid. Oh my gosh, you're the worst parent ever. But you could have killed it. That's fine. Whatever.
Right. All right. Seatbelt laws are good. I mean, that's if they can mandate to adults that we have to have our seatbelt on for our own safety.
Well, we care. We care about you and your well-being, Patrick.
Yeah. Right. Well, and besides, you could become a human missile.
I love that.
You could become a human missile that shoots through your windshield and the other person's windshield right into another human being, and then you've killed them. Oh, yeah, that's right. The human missile deaths that we hear about so frequently.
It's an epidemic.
I don't know. If you've heard of it once. All right, let me tell you about Headspace. Are your thoughts running in endless circles in your mind?
Yes.
Stresses of this year make it really important, more important than ever, to practice living healthier and happier lives. So what if a few minutes was all it took to change your relationship with stress and anxiety and transforming your life for the better? That's where the power of meditation with Headspace comes in. Headspace is your convenient dose of mediation, mindfulness, and sleep exercises to relieve stress and anxiety and to help you get a good night's sleep all in one app, making it easy to catch your breath and make time for your mental health. How many nights do you go to bed? If you're like me, it's many, where your mind is just going 1,000 miles an hour. You've got something on your mind, something you have to do, something you did, something that's coming up, whatever, and you just can't stop thinking about it. That's where Headspace comes in. Really, really helpful. Whatever your situation, Headspace can help you feel better. If you're struggling with bedtime anxiety, try their Sleepcasts. Immersive bedtime journeys that change every night. Find some Headspace at headspace.com/unleashed and get 1 month free of their entire meditation library, their meditation library. It did say mediation in one of these. Yeah, it did. Okay. The meditation library. This is the best Headspace offer available. So go to headspace.com/unleashed today. Headspace.com/unleashed.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
You know, I just got a nice little message here from Jeffy. Whoopi wants choice with her doctor. What about the vax there, Whoopi?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, I looked up. Yeah, of course, she said, it's not only about you when it comes to these mandates.
The hypocrisy is outrageous, isn't it? It's outrageous. You can't get your head around it. I just can't.
How do they do it?
Do we have a shirt yet that says I can't take it? I can't take it. We need one if we don't have one already. Also, Jeffrey Epstein's former Palm Beach property manager testified last Thursday that Ghislaine Maxwell had a 58-page handbook that warned employees, remember that you see nothing, hear nothing, say nothing, except to answer a question directed at you. So they knew that there were going to be things that employees were going to see Jeffrey Epstein do, I guess. There were going to be situations that they could talk about, but they had to sign this form that said they wouldn't ever talk about it. Juan Alessi, who worked for Epstein from 1990 to 2002, told jurors Maxwell controlled every aspect of Epstein's Florida estate and that she issued a tremendous amount of rules, which included avoiding eye contact with the pedophile. It said, Mr. Epstein doesn't like to be looked at in his eyes. Never look in his eyes. Look in another part of the room and answer him. That's interesting. So if he asked you a question and he's looking at you, you need to look off somewhere else.
That's weird.
Into the distance. Yeah, I put that broom in the closet over there. Very strange.
I used to work at
really weird.
Another radio station where I had a coworker who was like that in meetings and stuff. And I always thought he had something like off with his eyes or whatever, but really I think it was just kind of like this, like you were saying with Jeffrey Epstein, where he's like looking way over here like, I'm not going to look at you. Very strange situation.
But it wasn't from an edict not to look at him, right?
No, he's just a strange cat.
Just weird.
Yeah, that is odd.
You hear this about Meryl Streep and Barbara Streisand sometimes, and you just, is that real? Do people really have to look away? They can't look you in the eye?
That is
weird. That's weird.
How do you keep that job? Like, I'm out of there.
I don't know.
Stop.
But man, they were together for a long time, Epstein and Maxwell. She claims she's a victim, though, and a pawn in his weird sexual exploits. But prosecutors say she was a willing participant who recruited and groomed young girls. If convicted, she could spend 80 years behind bars. And then the article says, Epstein killed himself in a New York prison in August 2019, a month after he was arrested. Did he? Did he?
Come on. We're still pushing that?
Come on. Did he? No. The answer is no, he didn't. I don't believe he did. Not for half a second. All right. Have another fun trans athlete that is participating in athletics. Trans University of Pennsylvania swimmer has sparked outrage after smashing women's records. Leah Thomas, 22-year-old transgender swimmer at Penn, has been shattering women's records at the school.
Wonder how that
Before her transition, she competed for, she competed for 3 years at Penn as a man named Will Thomas. At a meeting including Princeton and Cornell on November 20th, Thomas had a 1 minute 43 second time in the 200 meter freestyle and 4:35.06 in the 500 meter. These times were records for Penn and would have placed Thomas second and third, respectively, in the NCAA Women's Championships.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even good enough to win the Women's Championships.
Nice.
It's unknown when Thomas transitioned from male to female, but the swimmer competed as a man as recently as November 2019. NCAA rules mandate at least 1 year of testosterone suppression to be eligible to compete as a woman. They're looking at eliminating that now. Thomas, the co-chair of the UPenn Club Non-Cis, spoke to the Penn I guess this is the Penn
newspaper, the student newspaper.
Yeah. Swimming is a huge part of my life and who I am. I've been a swimmer since I was 5 years old. The process of coming out as being trans and continuing to swim was a lot of uncertainty and unknown around an area that's usually really solid. Realizing I was trans threw that into question. Was I going to keep swimming? What did that look like? Being trans has not affected my ability to do this sport, and being able to continue is very rewarding.
Okay.
I wonder how rewarding it is for the other females that are swimming against this person. I'd really love to know. I'll bet they have some thoughts on that as well. But you can't disagree with it, I guess, right? Or you're canceled in society. You can't say, hey, wait a minute, this is unfair. How dare you? How dare you say that?
Don't you think when you change from dude to chick or either direction, you would try to keep your name, I don't know, kind of similar? So he went from Will to Leah, right? Why don't you just do something like Wilma or something? It makes it easier, paperwork, and if someone calls you Will, you can say, no, it's Wilma.
It's Wilma, sorry.
You forgot the couple letters there at the end. Maybe Wilma's not the best name. But it's easier.
It's somewhat of an old-fashioned name,
and
perhaps.
But it flows better, you know, when you're trying to...
I just wonder if he still has his man parts. Because they usually do, right? Unless they've gone through the surgery. And I don't think very many go through the surgery. But I don't know. It doesn't say. Will, who has had his man unit amputated, we never get that information. So and maybe it's just as well.
Will, Leah is now the goalie for the Iranian women's soccer team. as we learned.
They actually deny that person is transgender, right? Because there are no transgenders in Iran. Just like there's no homosexuals in Iran. Okay. All righty. Also, Chicago Public Schools announced some new rules.
Oh, this is fun.
Removing gendered bathrooms.
Yeah. How happy are you if you're a parent of a child in the Chicago Public School system?
I think I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, watch this video. You're going to be even more so.
Taking steps to create more inclusive and supportive schools.
Okay.
One change that will be implemented this school year relates to our school bathrooms. In compliance with new federal guidelines, all CPS students and staff will have fair and equitable access to bathroom facilities that align with their gender identity. We will be providing all schools with updated signage that makes our bathrooms more inclusive.
Good.
It will identify the fixtures available in each restroom and make it clear that all restrooms are open for use by anyone who feels comfortable. Staff will continue to have staff-only restrooms available to them. This is an incredibly important step to increase gender equity for all, which is why we will be requiring all schools to post this signage.
Girls Plus. Oh,
gosh. It provides equity for all except anybody who's uncomfortable that's an actual woman. Any female who's actually uncomfortable with a biological man being in their bathroom with them. It doesn't include them. They're not taken into consideration at all. So don't tell me this is inclusive because it isn't.
Yeah, if you're listening to the podcast, the signage now above Chicago public school bathrooms, instead of just girls emblazoned above the door, they've painted a plus sign. So now it's girls plus. Why should it say girls at all? It should say bathroom.
So do you even have to identify as a girl to go in there when you're a boy?
They do realize what just happened in Virginia with the dad talking to the school board
With the
about
rape situation.
Yeah, his daughter was raped, and this guy did it twice, this kid. Oh, my gosh.
Who identifies occasionally as a female and went into the bathroom in a dress. So don't tell me it's outside the realm of possibility. It's already happened, and it's happened more than once. They have more to say here?
Which is why we will be requiring all schools to post this signage by December 1st of this school year.
Gotta be
Our
kidding
district's
me.
Office of Student Protections and Title IX is also working on a long-term plan to create more permanent
Title
signage for our bathrooms.
I encourage you to visit our website at cps.edu/OSP to learn more about our comprehensive approach to creating more inclusive,
Title IX,
equitable,
really?
and safe schools. If you
Unreal.
have any questions, you can email us at osp@cps.edu.
Oh, I've got plenty of questions.
We look forward to having a safe and successful school year at every school in every neighborhood across Chicago. Thank you.
Ty, if I'm a parent, I'm out of my mind with rage. Just out of my mind with rage over that. That is not inclusive. That's dangerous, and you're just asking for trouble.
Well, you're about to have
begging for it.
more rage if you play
Really?
the reindeer video. Little kids
All right.
grooming them here.
Okay, let's see it.
This year, I decided to ditch Elf on the Shelf, so I want you to meet Remy the Respectful Reindeer.
Rummy?
Remy isn't
Remy.
tied to Santa Claus or Christmas.
No.
And they decided to start us off with a story to give us a hint
Okay,
as to
Remy
why they're
the-
in our class this year.
Something reindeer.
Remy
Mhm.
loves the book
Respectful.
They, She, He, Easy as ABC
Oh,
because
stop
it's
it.
a fun, easy way to introduce littles to pronouns.
Littles.
After the story, Remy played a trick on us and tried to have us guess the pronouns.
Oh,
that
a
we
game.
prefer.
No, really?
But Remy quickly corrected us and helped us learn not to make assumptions about people just based off of what they look like.
Right?
Because our pronouns are all about what we feel inside.
So
So,
they're not.
Remy had
They're
us
really
practice
not.
asking,
Mm-mm.
Remy, what are your pronouns?
What are your pronouns, Remy?
Together, we learned that our new friend Remy prefers they, them pronouns.
Screw Remy.
My littles were
all
so
right, I can't take
excited
it
that
anymore.
Remy was
I can't take it. I don't care what our littles thought about it.
Remy.
It's Remy. I'm not calling you a plural pronoun. I'm just not, because you're only one person. So
No,
you're one reindeer.
you're a
In fact, you're not
reindeer.
even a person. So you can kind of forget about that.
Wow.
All right?
Remy's got too much time on his hands.
Way too much.
Their
On
hand,
their
their
hands.
paws,
Yeah, thank you.
hooves. Too much. Don't you have something to be doing right now, Remy? Can't you make yourself useful at the North Pole, bro?
Oh, man.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, BYU soccer plays Florida State for the national championship tonight.
Oh, tonight?
Tonight.
Well,
Yeah.
good luck.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
the
And
dudes?
good luck to them. No, the women.
Chicks?
Women's
Okay.
soccer.
Or they? It's they? They've
yeah,
got a
it's-
game tonight?
Yeah. The Gemgiers have a game tonight. See you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.